Welcome to Wednesday, the 16th of September, 2020. And welcome to my live practice, your live guitar lesson, where we take a backing track I've never really jammed on before, and we're going to jam on today. I'm going to show you how I'd approach it using the Pentatonic Way. Speaking of which, if you're interested in this sort of thing, go check out the pentatonicway.com. That's where I make a lot of cool lessons similar to this, but even more crazy stuff that you've never seen anywhere on the web for guitar lessons and stuff. You've never seen anything like it. And if this is the first time here, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the like button. And either way, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I really do. So let's check it out. I got a cool backing track today. The last couple backing tracks have been in B minor, Dorian, just coincidentally. And the one today is in D major, which is the positive twin of, or the happy twin of B minor. B minor is like the sad twin of D major. Now, I'll get into that a bit when we look at it. So let's check out the jam track today. This is another one from Elevated Jam Tracks. These guys are awesome. And the chords you have are D and B minor and then G. All right, so there's D. There's B minor, G. There's a B section too. All right, here's where we can check out the chords. I'm going to pause it here. All right. So you can see we got a verse section, and that's what was just playing. And you have the D major, B minor 7, and a G major. That repeats a bunch of times. I'm not sure how many really, they don't tell you. And then every once in a while they sneak in a chorus, right? Where we start with the G now, B minor 7, D, and a real quick A. And this A here, what makes it different from that one, if you're looking at it and like, what is this slash C sharp, right? Whatever you see that, it's called a slash chord, and that second note is the note that you're going to play in the bass. Instead of playing A, like you typically would on an A chord, say you had like this, right? There's your A chord, and your A is in the bass. In this case, we're going to put C sharp in the bass. I'm going to roll down my tone. I've been reading a lot about that lately. It seems like every article I read is like, oh, you can get so much sound, different sound out of your guitar just by rolling the tone back and the volume. And I guess that's true. I wish I had like a Fender tube amp or something. I'm sure that would really make a difference. Sometimes when I roll down the volume or the tune, my sound just disappears, you know? But it's definitely worth messing with. Anyway, I digress. I got off track there. All right, yeah, so that's what that means. A slash chord, A with the C sharp in the bass. All right? Now for scales, what we're going to do over the D, I'll do it here. Actually, what we're going to do is, to keep it simplest, you guys, we're going to do it all in one spot on the neck like we usually do. When I play, I'm going to go all over the place using the same scales, just all over, because this is my practice time and I kind of have to push myself. But what we can do over the D and the B minor is play this first shape of the pentatonic right here with this note right here, that first note starting on the 7th fret. So you get... Cool. So just as long as you put that first note, the note that is right there on the 7th fret, you should be good to go. Someone asked me if I could put the numbers in the little dots, and it would just take too long. I'd have to do a different version of that graphic for every section of the neck, so unfortunately I can't do that. But if you just place that note right there on the 7th fret, you're good to go. Alright? And so we play that over the D and the B minor. Then when we get to the G, in order to play a G major pentatonic, we're going to switch to this shape, which is the 4th shape of the pentatonic. And then again, this note is going to go on the 7th fret. And that makes it G major. All right? Cool. So, and we're going to do the same for all the other chords, right? So in the chorus, when G comes up, we're going to play this shape. When B minor or D comes up, we're going to play this shape again on that 7th fret. And then the wild card here is the A, right? In order to play A starting at the 7th fret, we're going to want to use this shape. And then this note, I'll get better at this. Boop. That note is on the 7th. All right? Cool. So I'm going to give it a shot. Let's listen to it. I really like this track. It's so mellow. I don't want to go too far. I want to be able to see the chords here for you guys. All right. Kind of starts on D here. So here we go. I'll try to keep it light at first. Oh, we're in the first chorus. That was that quick A, super fast. I noticed they skipped the D last time. Back to the D and roll back my tone. That sounds nice. I thought I was going to go to the chorus there. Thought I was going to the chorus again. Here we go. Then straight to A. That was going to the verse. I keep thinking it's going to the verse, man. Verse. Alright, nailed it. Let's see if I can do some cool chord things with it. You don't always have to play licks with pentatonics. Any of these can be combined to be a chord. See if I can go way up the neck. Whoops. Whoops. Missed that A. And we're back at the verse again. Cool. Yeah, so there's some ideas what you can do, how to approach this backing track. Excuse me. Somebody asked me in a comment yesterday, or it might have just been an email, excuse me, about phrasing and coming up with ideas. And I mean, half the battle or half the job is done by using the pentatonic scales. As long as you're on the right scale over the right chord, everything's really going to sound amazing. You know what I mean? So if you can line those up, you're halfway there. The other half, I would say, is rhythm. It's rhythmic. You know, so like, if you just play quarter notes the whole time, it's going to sound pretty stale after a while. You know, my whole goal when I'm soloing is always trying to mix it up. Like, is this boring yet? Is this boring yet? Is this boring yet? You know, like if I'm gonna go up a neck, up the solo. Like even there, I had to go back and do something. But yeah, like if you just did this. It's going to get boring after a while. Like, it's neat. But you want to mix up the rhythm. So maybe you're going up. Like you're going from point A to point B, but you're not going the most direct route. You know what I mean? And switching up the rhythm has a big thing to do with that. Like going 8 notes. Like make it into quarter notes, that's going to give a certain feel, you know? Or go into 8th notes to like 6, what do they call it? Triplets? 8th note triplets, I guess it would be. That gives a different feel. Like both of them bring the energy up in that case. One does it by holding back, like you're going da 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 da. I don't know what I did the first time. I slowed down. So that kind of brings it back. You know something's happening because like you're pulling the rhythm back. The second time, you know something's happening because it increases the rhythm. You know, stuff like that. So that's half of it. The other half is just, in a way, just kind of being fearless. I remember when I was first learning how to play or solo. I've always been into lead guitar and soloing. But I read an interview with Eddie Van Halen talking about how he solos and his phrasings that he comes up with because it's so unorthodox or whatever. And he said a funny quote that I never forgot. And it was like, soloing for me is kind of like falling downstairs and trying to land on my feet. You know, and I really took that to heart. And sometimes, you know, when you're jamming, you might be, you know, hitting a stale spot. Then you're just like, you know what? I just got to go for it. I know the next scale's here. So you do something and you hope it fits. And then you kind of have to find a way out of it. You know what I mean? Try to land on your feet. And that's always a good thing to be able to do. You know, so if you're jamming and you're like, oh, this is getting stale, people are probably bored, just go for it. Go for something. Even if it's not in key, just do something and try to fit it in after. You know, try to make it make sense. A lot of times what's going on when I solo is there's the solo in my head and there's the solo that my fingers do, which isn't always the same. And then there's the solo that really happens because now I have to try to find another way out of it. And as long as I stay in the pentatonic shape, I know I'm going to be all right. And then I'll hear a little something and be like, oh, all right, I'll go that way. And it's a lot of reassessing where you are or whatever. So let me jam a little bit longer. And then I got to wrap it up because my life is calling and I'm sure yours is too. So let me show you what I mean by some of that stuff. So. And good thing to do is to find notes that, like here, when you go to G, the change in those notes from this shape, whoops, it changes the, it moves the, advances the video. Anyway, technical snafu. All right, so you see how these two notes change? Got that on the B string and on the A string. So those are the notes you're going to want to focus on. So when you're going in the D and the B, you're going. And you can hear like the chord change. Even without the backing track. Right? Another thing you can do for phrasing to come up with ideas, another quote from Frank Zappa this time. Play it twice, make it nice. I think he said that if you do it more than 3 times, you're playing with it. Or if you shake it more than 3 times, you're playing with it. You guys know what I'm talking about. So anyway, there's some tips. Again, like if you're into this sort of thing and you want to learn more about it, you want to check out some more amazing videos and lessons that you can't find anywhere else, check out the pentatonicway.com and subscribe on YouTube if you want to catch more of these live streams, and like, comment, share, whatever you want to do. Whatever it is you can do on your social media platform, do it. Be awesome. All right. I hope you get to play today. I know you'll be happy if you did, so try to do it, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.